Hello, and welcome back to our third step in our 7-step money management program to learn the secrets of the wealthy so you can retire in super comfort, reduce your taxes, and reduce the interest that you pay so you could save more money and you could spend more money guilt-free. So we're going to jump right into this in step number 3. I'm Victor Arocho, your family bank representative, your debt-free life representative, and I am here just to pass on as much knowledge as I possibly can. Please, please, please send me messages, send me questions, tell me things you want to know so I could talk about the subjects that are most important to you. Ask questions that you want me to elaborate on these topics, and I will be more than happy to reach out to you or someone on my team. A lot of times I'll reach out in the beginning because I want to make sure I feel that you're getting me. I'm not just sending you to somebody, but everybody in my team is well versed. So let's get going. So in step number 3 in the 7-step money management program, and this is for education. I want you to learn, and you're going to see that where you learn it from. I hope you learn from me. I hope you can provide a great value to you. That's most important. And for me, it's all about you know the book, the millionaire, the millionaire next door. Well, let's try to create the blue collar millionaire next door. So let's get right into it. Step number 3. Number 3, minimize debt. And when you minimize debt, you have the ability to create additional wealth. So now let me ask you a couple questions here. Do you feel like debt, and everybody knows debt is burdensome to everybody. Do you feel like your debt, so like credit cards, student loans, your mortgage, is preventing you from contributing to your retirement or contributing more to your retirement savings? I'm sure it is. Anytime you have money that you're spending out and you can't put it into a place you want to, it kind of defeats the purpose, and it stifles us to some degree. Second question: if your mortgage was completely paid off, would your retirement be more comfortable? Our homes are our largest assets that we end up owning. So our ability to want to get that mortgage paid off as fast as possible would definitely frees up a lot of money for us, and that's debt that we incur right off the bat. If you have no, you do not have no debt. If you have no debt, I'm sorry about that type of. If you have no debt, do you think you would be able to comfort? You would be able to retire sooner? Let me just repeat that. If you had no debt, do you think you could retire sooner? And I think a lot of people would say yes, and some people would say no because there's a lot of people like me that I don't think I'm ever going to retire. But my goal as soon as possible is to be in the position, and I'm heading toward those reaching those attaining those goals. Is I want to work because I want to work. I don't want to work because I have to work, and I won't. And I'm working. And the reason I won't have to work is because my money's working for me. That gives me the ability to decide if I want to work or not. So you got to sit down and just digest those questions. Again, do you feel like your debt, credit cards, student loans, your mortgages is preventing you from contributing to your retirement? Do you think your mortgage, if it was paid off, you'd be able to retire much more comfortably? Because now that is done. That's a bill you don't have to have. It's our largest bill. It's what everybody try to strive for. It seems to be a lot tougher, particularly in my business. I see people at different ages, especially older, they're refinancing their mortgage for another 30 years, and they seem to have that big debt there. And the last piece, if you had no debt at all, and I've been there several times, and I've been there with debt, uh, some of my most comforting times when I had zero debt. I just had money coming in, it was out. It was some of the best parts of my life. Just that having that feeling. Would you be able to retire sooner? And how would you just feel today? All right, so we're gonna go. The next one is now. Here's a question I have for you, and we're going to ask this, quite a bit. Is are you 100% sure you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have some doubt? And a lot of people I talk to, um, a lot of people I talk to say they have some doubt, but there are a lot of people that feel very confident. They don't know what they don't know. I don't believe they're truly planned well enough. If they are, God bless 'em. What if I could show you, or if you by you understanding this concept, you're able to get out of debt in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, have all that paid off without spending any additional money than you're spending right now. So the ultimate goal of the entire program is, and this should apply to anybody else that is either your family bank representative, a debt-free life representative, an IBC representative, um, uh, anyone out there that is educated and certified. And I'm telling you, you need to have someone that knows numbers, financial numbers, and understands the concept. And I'll tell you honestly, the number one thing, besides knowing that, they have to be willing to give up a good 50 to 70% of their commission, because that's what's happened. This is not your mother and father's whole life policy type stuff. This is a design policy that generates cash more for you as the client, to put you in the best position possible. So again, if I was able to show you to get out of debt for this program, this concept, or you study it and you're able to learn how to get out of debt in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending any additional money than you're spending right now, is that something you would consider? Well, I'm hoping that that intrigues you to continue and stay for the rest of the video, so you can see the ideas we're going to give you, the concepts we're going to give you, and at least tell you in this step why debt is critical, and the differences of debt to creating wealth. All right, debt. Now, we've always heard debt, and I'm hoping that you've been taught this, because we're not taught a lot about finances. We're not taught about law. But a lot of things that I think this country needs to be taught more to put us in a better position. But debt, we've always heard that there's bad debt and there's good debt. Well, you know, I realize that there's bad debt, there's good debt, and there's great debt. Okay, so bad debt is super simple. Bad debt is money that's just going out of your monthly income, of your monthly earnings, and it's just going out to consumer debt. Stuff that has little to prove, has no financial outcome. You're not going to get your money back, and that's just bad debt. Credit cards is an example of bad debt. Financing your furniture, if you're paying interest on that, is bad debt. Those are some examples of bad debt, but credit cards is one of the biggest ones. A car to some degree is bad debt, because it depreciates the second it comes off the lot. On the other hand, you need a car to be able to generate and make money. And you heard in one of my episodes, there's two ways to make money: you work for it, and have your money work for you. Good debt is defined as money owed for things that can help you build wealth or increase your income over time, such as student loans, mortgages, or a business loan. Now, that's what they define good debt as, right? Good debt is something that you're taking on debt. A lot of businesses have built their business by taking on debt to expand their facilities. It's also put them in some trouble, but it has also helped companies grow. So those are considered good debt. Your mortgage is considered good debt to some degree. I do believe in Robert Kiyosaki and some of the other financial gurus that, and I learned this earlier, and I should have been putting it in practice a lot better than I did. But you should build your assets enough to be able to have enough income coming in to then buy the house that you want, because a house becomes a liability, right? You may have money tied up, and you'll see that in another episode. So, and then student loans. The reason why student loans is, the assumption is that as you get a degree, and the further degree you get, you're investing in your future, because on average, people with degrees earn more money than people without degrees. Then again, I know multi millionaires, and we already know billionaires like Gates and Cuban. They left school and they became billionaires. So all I'm saying to you is that student loans um, does give you a leg up, but it also, we're $1 trillion in student loan debt. It's a major problem, major problem, and it's worse for the lower and middle income families, because they're incurring that debt, and sometimes the families are trying to pay for it. They're not saving for retirement. The other thing is, with student loans, that you got to be careful. I'm going to do a whole section on student loans. Is, if you start college and you're taking out student loans, you need to do everything you possibly can to finish and get that degree. I don't care unless you're one of the exceptions. And don't think that you're going to be the next Bill Gates or this that. God bless you, you may be. But if you quit school and you have student loans, now that became really bad debt because you don't have that degree to get that higher earnings that someone with a degree or a special degree would. So if you commit to it, finish it. Good loans is they're considering a mortgage a good loan, but sometimes mortgages on investment properties are good loans because they're bringing you back money. Okay, a business loan to buy equipment, to expand, to buy competition, right? That could be a good loan. Now, in talking with several clients and talking with several associates, I came up with great debt, or like it's good to great, and it's bad, good, and great. So to me, great debt, I define it is what we're going to be teaching you, the 7 steps of money management, which is really privatized banking. Okay, the infinite banking concept, the insurance benefit concept, your family bank concept. Great debt is defined to me is by having your money be used twice. Okay, and using a custom designed high dividend paying cash policy. That's a long word, but you want to get it in there. And borrowing against that cash value, you're essentially just paying back yourself with the interest, and that otherwise that interest would go to somewhere else. So let's say in condition of in situation of good debt, you have a student loan and you're investing in yourself to be able to have a profession, a better career, and have higher earnings. But when you're paying it back, you're paying it back to interest. Someone else is getting that interest. And I'm going to show you how interest ends up really working. Okay. If you have a business loan, if you're buying equipment, you're financing it, awesome. You're expanding your business, you're able to make more money, but now it is a debt on your balance sheet, and the interest you're paying is going to someone else that will never come back to you. It's still considered great debt because it's defined as helping you increase the income, increase your wealth. Great debt is using your money twice. What is that? Utilizing custom design policy, you're borrowing against the cash value. That's collateral. So what happens is the cash value you have in a high cash acceleration policy, you're borrowing against it. So you're consistently making interest on it. So that's what I'm saying is using twice. The money that you're borrowing against, the amount that you have in there never goes down. You're borrowing against that as collateral, which is considered a simple interest. It's given to you as simple interest, and then you're utilizing that money to work. So if you borrow your cash value, let's say you borrow 20,000, you're still going to be earning guaranteed 4% on the 20. So now the money's working at 4% of 20,000, and then you use the other 20,000 to invest in business equipment, into paying off your student loans. Those are the items. That's what I consider good debt. And then when you do pay back the interest, which you should, you want to treat this as your own bank. I'm going to show you how to create your own bank, pretty much your own business. What's happening is when you're paying back, you should be paying back more interest than they're providing you with. And the beauty about this loan is it's flexible. You don't have to pay it every month. You pay it every 2 months. You could just not pay it in a year or pay it in lump sums. But the beauty about this is that you're paying it back to the mutual company, which I've explained before. A mutual company, if you're a policyholder, you own part of that company. So as the company is making interest off the loans they make, and they make loans to others outside the policy, right? Mortgages and bonds. But as you're paying that interest, when they pay dividends, you're getting a part of that back. Okay. For me, that's great debt. Is if I'm using my money, all right, and I'm not taking it out of my bank account. It's consistently earning money, and I'm utilizing to finance, to advance, either pay off debt, to buy other cars. I end up keeping the cars, to invest in my business, invest in inventory, turn that inventory over, make a profit, pay it back. I'm just constantly churning the money. And the benefit about this is you're going to see there's a debt benefit. So it's multiple ways. You're really using your money like 2 or 3 times, but let's stay focused on the 2. So that's debt. Now remember, this is step 3 in the process. So here, we're going to review the steps again. We got step 1 is knowledge, right? Step 2 is improve cash flow. We've talked about that. So now by reducing debt, you're going to improve cash flow. So we're going to focus on reducing debt today. Step 4 is going to be reducing taxes. We want to minimize your risk. The big picture is going to be able to give you this, put this all together, give you that plan, and then it's going to be your decision. Remember, go without a plan is just a wish. Okay, so then it's going to be your decision to either put your time in investigating and learning more, put your time in asking questions of me or others that I'm gonna show you where to go to read, and decide, do you want to put in that time, or you want to feel comfortable with someone who's already an expert in it. And I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I know income statements, um, back and forth. So my goal is to really, create as many privatized banking for clients, for businesses, especially for blue collar, like landscapers, plumbers, doctors with malpractice insurance. So these are the 7 steps. We're going to focus on reducing debt. So this is a good one. It's a little longer than normal, but here again, I'm a Your Family Bank. I hate when it goes back. I'm a Your Family Bank authorized representative. That means I was in a boot camp. I got my certification. I was in a boot camp for at least, for 2 days, a minimum about 8 hours. I was in another boot camp with Debt Free Life for another 8 hours, and it was teaching us how to use the proprietary systems. It was teaching us the concept, of some of the things that Nelson Nash taught in Infinite Banking, the concepts of what they've brought together. And none of this includes all the hours I've put in studying, which I'll show you. And I have on another video on the education side. But I'm also always talking with the companies that I represent, and the companies we represent are over 100 years old. So they made it. You're talking about since the 1890s, 1870s. They made it through every downturn in the market, and they've consistently been profitable. So those are the companies we represent, and you know that I've got the training and I had to get certified to be able to utilize their software and understand their business. Now let's talk about debt. The average American household. Average American household, I'm just going to get right there. Average is in debt $250,000. The consumer debt alone is over $1 trillion plus. So there's a lot of money that is just owed. Our country owes money. Between our country owing trillions of dollars, consumers owing trillions of dollars, student loans in the $1 trillion, we owe a lot of money. So where does that dollar go? So I'm going to show you 2 pies. So the first pie, for every dollar we earn, around 34% of it goes out into interest. And what kind of interest is that? Big interest is in your home. You could think you got a 3 or 4% loan, all right, and everybody's all happy and what I got. Yeah, you're not going to realize that 3 to 4% to the last 10 years of that 30-year mortgage. You got a 15-year mortgage, it would be maybe the last 6 years. In the beginning, just go see what your payment is. You send them $1,000, maybe $100, $150. That is knocking down the principal. So that means 900 they're getting of interest. So that's a lot of money. If you calculate it early on, that interest is close to 60, 70%. So we pay interest. We pay interest to our mortgages. We pay interest to student loans. We pay interest on our cars that we finance, on anything that we finance. We pay interest on medical bills if we have outstanding medical bills. There's a lot of interest if you just go look at all the interest that we pay. If you look at your credit card statement, it'll tell you that if you make the minimum payment, how long it's going to take and how much interest you're going to be paying off. The next section of the pie, another large part of the pie, is taxes. Well, a lot of that's income taxes. So the wealthy are smart. They open up a business. They don't pay themselves a salary, and that's how they're able to reduce a lot of their taxes there. But I'm going to show you some of the other ways and how we're paying these taxes. We want to move that over. So with that said, think about all the other taxes that you don't account for, that every dollar, every hard-earned dollar you work, whether you're working 1 job, 2 jobs, you're working 18 hours a day, you're an entrepreneur, you're middle income and you have to work 2 or 3 jobs, you're lower income, you're working 2 or 3 jobs, all that money you work for, all of it goes out, we get taxed. So you're paying property taxes. You're paying, if you rent a car, look at all the taxes on the car. You got county tax, state tax, local tax. We're a country we're supposed to be getting taxed. We're getting taxed all over the place. You see the gas prices are going up. You're paying taxes on gas price. You're paying sales tax. I happen to live in Florida. There's no state income tax. But in other states, you got state income tax plus tax on top of that. Now, whether you're pro or against it, it really don't matter. But my point being is, in the cannabis industry, you're getting taxed on taxed and taxed. Some of those taxes like 14, 15%. So they're figuring out a way how to tax on everything. In Florida, they tax you for fishing licenses. So we get a lot, 40 cents of every dollar we're getting taxed on. So what does that leave left over? The average American may save 3%. And 3% ain't going to cut it. You need to save 10 to 15%. You want at least 6 months of expenses in the bank. That becomes difficult when we have all these expenses. And what's left over is lifestyle. Lifestyle is paying your mortgage without the principal and the interest. Your lifestyle is food, groceries, entertainment. So you start limiting your ability to do things because you can't control, or you're not finding or getting the knowledge, which hopefully I could help you out, or many others could help you out, to be able to reduce that, so you could have more money for saving and have more money to enjoy your lifestyle. That scarcity living, that like don't spend any money, that's a tough way to live. It just is. And that's not a good mindset to teach the future of our children. So let me just give you an example of utilizing your family bank approach, your debt-free life approach, the privatized banking approach. All right. So in this here scenario shows you all we're looking to do, and all it teaches you to do, and it's not all the major pieces that teaches you to do, is to shift those percentages. So if we're able to reduce the amount of interest you're paying to other people, right, that they're making that money. So you understand that every dollar you spend on interest to someone else, you're never going to see that back. So if you look at your credit cards and you have a credit card statement, it says if you pay the minimum, it's going to take you this amount of time, and this is how much interest you're going to pay. Okay. And it's a lot. If you look at your mortgage statement, then you're going to see what the difference. You're going to see how much your real interest is, not just what you're paying. And we're a country that loves paying on payments and not worried about how much of it's going to interest. Well, let's kind of change that paradigm shift. We were taught that paradigm shift. We were taught that. I was taught that. I want to help. Take your time, digest, listen to this a couple times. Listen to other podcasters. We definitely need more than 5% of the country educated in this, and then let the country make their own decisions. I'm here to help. Hit me up with a tweet. You could go on my Instagram channel. You could see where my information is on here. Contact others. I'm going to show you some books, but it's time. This country, a lot of things are changing. Too much debt is being printed, and we're printing too much money. Taxes, the more taxes that you lower, we're going to go on another one. The less taxes you pay, the more you keep. So if we shift that reduction down to 22%, down to 30%, these are approximate numbers. And what happens? It's the same pie. It just shifts over. So now we're going to provide you 30 more percent. This concept will provide you 33% more of lifestyle, to do more things that you want, vacations, to be guilt-free, not really worrying, and living on a limited budget all the time. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't budget, you should control. In my last video, you can only control what you manage, but you're going to have more freedom to do the things that you want. And look, it'll increase your savings by another 12%. Putting money away, feeling great. It'll also give you the ability to tithe. If you're a person that tithes, I tithe. Your charitable givings. Imagine being able to get back all the money you spent on all the cars you purchased, on the things you spent out, and get it all back and maintain that money, meanwhile controlling and keeping that asset. These are some of the things in a lot of our videos we're going to teach you. So this whole concept is just being able to do a shift in where you're spending your dollars and how to get the most out of each dollar. So again, here's a situation in the United States. The average American in their lifetime is going to earn about $2 million. At the age of 65, they're going to have $60,000, the average American, in assets. That includes the equity in their house. That's not the American dream. That's not what we signed up for. Yet $2,000 passing through your hands, but you got taxed on 70-something percent of it. That's a difficult way to get to what the land of opportunity is to provide for us. And this is a great country. This is not the American dream. So let's figure it out and let's live the American dream. Debt. Again, step 3 is debt. If you minimize your debt, you will create additional wealth. That means you have less debt, you have more money to seize the moment when opportunity is there. Let's look at a typical American family, Mark and Joyce. Now, they were nice enough to give us their information. We just changed their names. We don't have any particular information that it's private, but they gave us. They allowed us to utilize the information of when they came to your family bank as one of the clients. And here's their situation. This is an average couple, 37, 35. They would like to retire at 65. Their monthly income between the two of them is close to 8,000, close to $8,000. They would love to retire at a $5,000 income. That's at least the floor. They have three children, beautiful children, 3, 4, and 8. They don't have any money yet saved for college. So there's a lot of things in their life. They are now, hey, let's sit down and plan this out. Their main areas of concern, and you may have different areas of interest, and that's where we would find out, and we'd understand and help in direction. The main areas is they want to increase their retirement income. They would like to retire more than $5,000 a month. They want to reduce the debt, which will show you the debt that they have. Let's get out of the debt so I can have some more freedom of my cash. They want to control their spending. They want to find out where they're spending where they shouldn't. To find the leakage in their spending habits. They need college planning, and they want to increase their savings. They want to keep putting the money away to be able to utilize that money for many things that they can utilize it for. All right. So let's look at their financial situation. Here's what they have so far in savings. They're with a BOA. They have an emergency fund, which everybody should have some type of emergency fund. Again, it should be at least 6 months of expenses, but they got $6,000. They put $25 every month to keep increasing that. They're only getting a 0.25% interest, which is pretty much what anybody can get. And they're making that available to fund their own banking system. That's how we call it. You're going to fund your own bank. So they're going to make the $6,000 available, and they're going to make the $25 available. You could, if you have more, if you have less, you don't have to put the whole amount. We would design it to make sure it fits the best for you, or you would have your representative design it in the best manner that it fits for you. They have a 401 account. They have 36.5 in there. They're contributing $300 a month at a 5% interest, which overall, if you start looking online, that's probably what you're going to get when you take out fees, when you take out taxes. You're going to pay income tax. And I'm going to do a whole series on 401ks. All right. And they're making that available for us to help them to get them out of their situation as fast as possible and start generating wealth, generating legacy wealth, generational wealth. So here's their debt. Okay, so typical debt most people will have. They have couple credit cards, some furniture. Everyone at any point, most of the time, are financing a car, if not multiple cars. And I'm guilty of that. I finally paid off several cars. You got your mortgage, which is probably going to be pretty high or more. And if you total that up, the average is about 10% average total interest that they're paying out. That money, all that interest rate, that 6% average of 10% is being paid out to another entity, and somebody else is making that 10% interest, not them, and that money goes out the door. So their average payments on their minimums, or what they're paying, if they were overpaying, we were fixing it, about $2,177. All right, so what does that mean? So we total these up. So here's their debt situation. We totaled it up. It shows that they owe $180,000 in debt. Well, what's the real debt? You start adding the interest, the compounding interest, the time it's going to take if they're paying the minimums, time to pay off their mortgage. Their real debt equals $380,000, not 180. So you see how that loss starts becoming significant. So they're going to, if they continue the path they're going, they're going to end up paying $200,000 during that time frame in their life. $200,000 that they will never get back. They'll not make any money on. They will not get that interest back. And you got to calculate that, because you can pay off your house and you sell it. You got to figure out how much you really paid for it, right? Because it's not going to calculate the interest, and it's going to take them 30 years to get out of debt. So here's the current retirement plan. And I'm just adding this portion of to see how debt affects your ability to create wealth or an excellent retirement. 36.5 retirement, $300 a month contributions. They're in a 5% annual tax bracket. Annual tax rate they're returning. They're in a 25% tax bracket. Their retirement account at the end of the 30 years of the savings, they're going to have $400,000 in savings. Yeah, They should have more, but okay, that's what they have. All right. But when they go to take that out, they're going to take out $306,000 is available to them because they're going to be taxed on it. And if they get taxed on it, if they start taking out a 59 and a half because they need it, it's going to go as income. So it can affect Social Security. And when you become 70, you have no choice. They want it out. Why? The bank wants the government wants their money. They want that taxes. You defer it. I want my money. So you're just building a reserve for the government that is just waiting for people to retire. Now look where we were able to accomplish by utilizing the family bank concept, the privatized bank concept, the debt-free life concept. We were able to free them from all their lenders, all their debt. We got them out of debt in 7.8 years. Because they did that, they saved $122,000. They were able to recoup that it didn't go out of their pocket. We freed up that money they were spending every month since they're now out of debt. They're not spending that 21.77 a month, so they're able to put that away for retirement investments, things to be able to help them retire in a better fashion. And then if they take that same amount of money and they put it in a savings, just that in a money in savings account every month for 30 years, they'll have $1 million available to them. So this is you're going from someone that was in 180,000, really 300 something thousand dollars in debt, and turning the tables of being able to be in the green at $1 million. So here's their current plan, right? That before they met with us and we spoke, and this is more about concept, not if the sells you sells you, but it's more about concept. $306,000 they would receive after taxes. Utilizing privatized banking, your family bank, the concepts that professionals that are certified know, they'll be able to have at least $1 million, and not counting their cash and their cars are all paid off, $1 million in tax favored retirement. That's the magnitude of how debt could either hold you back in the red or propel you forward to wealth in the green. What is the cost of them not doing your family bank? What is the cost of them if they didn't move into, or if you don't move into, and you're in the same situation, into privatized banking on yourself, bank on you? Well, $1 million in retirement. They're not going to save the $122,000 in interest. Then they are going to have the $306,000 after tax. So you can subtract that. So pretty much they're losing $820,000 by not deciding to start making that attempt to see and learn and develop their skill sets, or work with professionals and certified people like myself and a lot of people that are out there. And I say a lot, but it's not enough, obviously, because less than 5% of the country understands this, right? So here, boom, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I've done. And besides getting certified, but besides talking with the companies every day, besides presenting to prospective clients, friends, families, business associates, honing in my skills, understanding this, staying to the path of focus of wanting to help as many people as possible. Okay, some great books. Becoming Your Own Banker. This gentleman invented the infinite banking concept. He's the one who's trademarked it. This is how you do it. He's got great ideas, right? It's there's a 200-page book. I've been through it 3, 4, 5 times. Okay. There is Confessions of a CPA. There's 2 great books on financing equipment from a business perspective. How are you financing your trucks, all your equipment? How are you paying pensions? How are you paying your key people? Okay. Then you got money, wealth, and life insurance. How the wealthy use life insurance as a tax-free personal bank to supercharge their savings. I mean, how the wealthy like life insurance as a tax-free personal bank to supercharge their savings. Fantastic book, by the way. And you can get it on Kindle. It's like an hour and a half. It's a short read. If you reach out to me and we have a quick conversation, I'll send you the audiobook. The And Asset is another excellent book. Okay, that tells you how to start creating depreciating assets and turning them to assets. But from the insurance side, think about it. When a bank takes your money and you put a deposit into a Wells Fargo or Bank of America, okay, it's considered a liability because they got to give you that money back. The second they take that money and lend it out, to someone else and start gaining interest, that becomes an asset. So if you go to any bank statement, you look under their balance sheet and you look under asset column, you're going to see bank owned life insurance as one of their major investments, and they put at least 15 to 25% of their money in that tier one bank owned life insurance asset, and it's considered an asset. Life insurance is considered an asset, especially if it's accumulating cash. And then you have, what would the Rockefellers do? Well, this is how the Rockefellers left the legacy, and they all still have money after money after money after money. Okay, so if it was me and what I did, first book I would start off with is the easiest one is Money, Wealth, and Life Insurance. Fast, quick, easy read, get it on a book. The next one is What Would the Rockefellers Do? Just it gives you the breakdown, easy concept. The end asset, and a lot of people push you towards Nelson Nash, and I'm not. You got what's called certified infinite banking consultants or concept consultants. Listen, if you at the end of the day, you got to be someone that knows the numbers, knows business, and understands how to design these policies. And I am well versed in these policies. Can I get certified in there? If of course, but I don't think there's an infinite banking certified person that I can have an educated dialogue with. In fact, I'm going to refer you to some of these people that are infinite banking certified. I think they're great. That I don't necessarily need that right now. Okay, excellent book though. I would read it. Read all these books several times. Plus, if you see in my other education section, I just keep putting more hours and more hours. But I'm giving you a resource where to go. That's just I'm trying to get as much knowledge as I can because it's bottled up and it's frustrating for me to be able to how do I get this out to help as many people as possible, and it is amazing. The by far the best thing I've ever seen in insurance in my life, with nothing but upside and minimum to zero downside. I mean, I thought it was too good to be true. It took me 4 months to figure it out, to make sure it wasn't too good to be true. And now I put in the pain to help as many people as I can. Again, I'm Victor Arocho. I'm a certified Your Family Bank representative. You go to victorarocho.com. You can reach me at Arocho on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at Debt Free Victor. You just put Victor Arocho. You can find me anywhere. Again, I just want to give disclosure. I'm not giving you tax or legal advice. You should consult consult with a tax or legal advisor of your choice. But pretty much, I got to disclose that. But at the end of the day, uh, they're gonna they're gonna kind of like what you have here. So I hope this helped you. Okay, remember, talk about debt. So you got to figure out a plan to get yourself out of debt, to create excess cash to do something with. And remember, you can do it without spending any more money than you're spending today. I'm telling you, you can. I've done it. I've helped people doing it. Less debt creates more wealth. God bless you. I hope you're enjoying this step 3 in the 7-step process. You're going to get more information. I'll have another video coming out. My name is Victor Arocho. I found a place I super, super love what I do. And I hope I could help you and your family to leave a legacy um, for you and generations to come. Look up Proverbs 13:22. A good person leaves a legacy to their children's children. And that's the key piece. So God bless and stay safe. Thank you very much. Have an awesome, awesome day, month, year, week, everything. God bless you.